What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Alrighty, first off, I want to wish everybody a wonderful day. I hope you're having a great week. I hope everybody's healthy and happy. So, what we're going to talk about today is one of my favorite budget knife designs, but we're not talking about it in a good way, unfortunately, and that would be the Kershaw Iridium. Super popular knife, and for a good reason. They are fantastic. Both blade styles. I have both. I prefer the reverse tinto. Anyhow, these are great knives. So much, in fact, that I actually have and I don't buy high dollar China knives, but I have the M390 in carbon fiber variant of both. That's how much I like this design. But there is a glaring problem with this knife. And it's something that you're not going to be expecting. And see, the thing is, this design flaw has been there since day one with the original spear point blade shape version, and it exists throughout the line. Now, I will say, in the premium carbon fiber version, it doesn't have this problem, but this one here, along with the other spear point D2 version, this D2 one, and I actually have had two of these. And yeah, they both, well, all three of them have the same issue. And it was an issue I didn't know about until, I don't know, what was it, probably 6 weeks ago. I got cut pretty good by this knife. When you buy a crossbar lock knife, they're pretty dependable as far as having a reasonably strong lock. Now, I'm not the type of person who sits there and says, "Oh, you know, if you don't ever treat a locking knife like it's a locking knife, like you don't ever put any faith in the lock." Okay, I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. Am I going to treat a locking knife like a fixed blade? I am not. However, if a knife is a locking knife, I have a reasonable expectation of reasonable security. And when I say reasonable security, I'm not talking about going out and batoning this knife through an oak limb, or, abusing it. Okay. That is not something you should be doing with any folding knife. So, not even a triad lock for that matter. But, it is what it is. I have a certain reasonable expectation of security from a locking knife, just as we all should. If this was a slip joint, I would treat it different. However, it is not a slip joint. It's a locking knife, and a crossbar locking knife at that. Crossbars are notoriously strong locks. They are, I mean, they're a strong lock. It's just the way it is. Now, the problem is, every one of these, and I three of the D2 ones I've had, and I probably sharpened another 10 for clients, and every one of those have all had this problem. However, I didn't know how bad it was until, a month and a half, whatever it was ago, when I got cut. Okay. They all have this little bit of lock rock, right? If you do this to yours, I guarantee it has it, because I probably have my hands on 15 or so in total, and 12 to 15, 10 to 15, we'll just say that. And every single one of them have it. And not really to varying degrees. They all have about that much. Probably, I would say, a 1/16 of an inch of movement. Okay. So now I'm dragging this video out. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I am. I talk a lot. It's just me. If yours has that, and if it's not the carbon version or the titanium version, then I'm going to say it has it. Now, I don't know about the titanium version. It could be the same. I don't know. I can say my carbon M390 versions, I have them both blade shaped. They're good. They're rock solid. But we're talking about the D2 version right now. Well, here's the big problem. If you have that lock rock, now I thought, oh, it's secure. There's saying a 1/16 of an inch of movement, but it's secure. It is not. It is not. And how I found this out was actually stabbing like this. Now, I'm being very careful to, and not hard. Not hard. I needed to stab through some plastic sheeting, and I just give it a little pop like that. And the blade come right up and cut me across the palm of the hand. It healed up. I mean, it didn't kill me, but the problem is that lock failed with very little load being placed on it. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how little load. Now, I'm not going to stab because I don't want to get cut. I could probably do it this way. Now, see, here's the thing. Of course, if you stab straight down, it's not going to happen. But if there's any stabbing motion and load going this way, watch how easy it fails. Watch. Look. Look at that. I don't know if it's coming across how easy I'm hitting that. Oh, it actually, now it locked up a little bit, okay. But that's not much. That's not much. Sometimes it got a little more. Sometimes it failed at just a little tap. Look at that. And you see I'm only moving about that much. I'm dead. I could strike my hand with it probably and get it to fail at. No, I don't want to get cut, but it doesn't take much. Okay. Now, if you stab with this knife and you have any movement in that tip, look at that. Look at that. Let me get it so you know I'm not hitting the lock bar. Look at that. That's not even sticking hard enough for it to actually stick in the table. Now watch. If I go straight down, it's not going to fail because all the load's coming straight into the pivot. But if there's any angle, look at that. And so y'all know I'm not doing anything here. I'll let you see my fingers. Keep in mind, this is a brand new one. And so it's brand new. Not a mark on the blade. This is not the one that cut me. This one that has some use on it, not a ton. But this is a brand spanking new one. After I got cut, I went and bought one more from Walmart. My Walmart sells them. So I went and grabbed one just to see. I know it does. Now see, I didn't know they failed like that. I knew they had that lock rock, but I didn't know they failed like that. So, every one I felt has that lock rock. But of course, I didn't check them. to see if they failed. So I grabbed my other one and, light tap, sure enough, fails. Grab this one. I mean, the one that cut me, of course, it fails. And I went and got a brand spanking new one. This hasn't been in the pocket. Hell, you look inside of it, you see there ain't a lick of lint in there. The brand spanking new knife. And look at that. Pink. Whoops. I don't know if I'm not hardly hitting this with any load. I don't know if it's coming across on camera. Let's see, so you can see how much my hand's moving. Come on, man. I'm going to tell you right now, flat out, if you have an Iridium, it is a cool pocket knife. No doubt about it. It's an awesome design. Got a good action. They're smooth. They fit the hand nicely. They're good work knives. But you better treat this knife as it's non-locking. And I mean, if I take a slip joint and I hit the blade like that, guess what? It's not going to fail. Let me grab one real quick. I mean, you know that. I don't really need to tell you or show you. You know that. A slip joint's not going to fail if I hit like that because of the way it works. So I can... That's way harder. Way harder. I'll go even way harder. Okay. Almost with the weight of the knife. So, you can't even treat this as a slip joint. You better treat this like it's a non-locking knife on bearings. And the thing is, now it's not due to lack of engagement. Like the springs are pushing the lock bar fully forward. See, watch when the blade falls. So there's a good bit of movement there. See if I can do it one finger to show you. All right. Watch the lock bar so you can see how far it moves before it falls. There's a decent bit of engagement there. The lock bar is not, it's not like it's not moving up. There's quite a bit of, there's probably, I'd say about 1/8 of an inch of travel before the lock breaks. Just like it is on pretty much any crossbar locks. This here is simply a geometry issue with this tang right here. It's a geometry issue. It doesn't, that little bit of play. I'm not going to do it because I'm scared. I'm scared I'll get cut. I probably could fail the lock like this by pushing on it without even it being a strike. Just no, I'm not going to risk it because I don't want to get cut. But I probably, with as easy as that lock fails, I probably could do it, just by putting some pressure on the spine. It doesn't take hardly anything at all. It's selling every time, just so you know, in case you're not seeing it. Piece of shit. Kershaw, you're going to get, thankfully, like I thank God. I thank God that I wasn't holding the knife like this and stab into something hard and it folded. It cut my pinky off or something. I'm very, very thankful that it was, in the side of the palm and it, it wasn't a bad enough cut to need stitches or anything. But it laid me open. You know, nothing that was too big of a deal. But squirt a little bit of super glue in it, pinch it closed, spray some alcohol on it to dry the super glue, and back to work. No big deal. But what if I would have been stabbing into something with some force and it failed? It would have cut me probably to the bone. Or if I would have had the knife, like this and stabbed hard, it might have cut my finger off. It just don't. All I'm saying is, if you're using this as a work knife and you're doing anything more than sitting and fidgeting with it and opening up some, Amazon boxes or cutting some cardboard down, if you're doing anything more than that, I really hope you think about this video before you lose a finger or get cut terribly bad. Remember, guys, a bad cut across the finger can definitely mean a lifelong injury. All it takes is to sever a nerve, and you're going to have a lifelong issues with that finger from that point forward. Remember, a bad cut just isn't, oh, it's going to hurt, it's going to bleed, and then it's going to heal up, and I'll be okay. You get cut in the right place, it doesn't even have to be that bad of a cut, and it can be a permanent disability to that, whatever finger or wherever you cut. Do not, under no circumstance, trust this knife. Take yours out and test it. If it's got that slop, your lock will fail. All you got to do is this. I mean, yours might take a little more than that, because this one, the other ones, I'd say takes maybe 50% more to make it fail than this. This is the easiest failing one of them of the bunch. But, the other ones, if this takes this to fail, say this one takes this to fail, the other ones might take that to fail. So, point is, do not trust this knife. If you have that lock, that lock absolutely, positively can and will fail on you with little to, hardly any at all energy transfer, that tip, and that you're gonna have a failed lock. I should have made this video sooner. I hope nobody's been cut, in the past since I knew about it, since it got me. I know many people aren't going to see this video anyways, but please, if you're using this knife as a work knife, or a knife that you actually carry and use, please be careful. I would really hate to see you be cut severely, have a numb finger for the rest of your life, or, permanently disable yourself. Just watch what you're doing and do not trust that lock. Okay? All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. And again, do not trust that knife.